that the Federation and the community has given me a long time ago. What I do deserve is that I'm a very proud parent of 4 kids, one of the most important legacy of my life, and you can see what amazing kids they are, so thank you very much. Yeah, I didn't approve of the bunny photo, okay? I thought that bunny photo was like the deep down low thing, but anyway. You know, I'm also moved by the video and those who participated in making it. Everyone in that video has a special place in my life for a variety of reasons, none of which is due to how you perform on camera. Although Jesse does have some on-camera performances that are not in that he is notable for. Just ask him about it. The theme and song, What a Wonderful Life, holds a special place in my heart. Is when my first son Hayden was born, I used to carry him around to the song until he fell asleep. And it was a wonderful world, but when he went to sleep. So he now sleeps somewhere else, so that makes life a little better. So I also want to thank Rabbi Woznica, Rabbi Tanner Wissett, and Rabbi Dan Moskowitz for providing the spiritual backdrop for tonight, as they have done for me and my family our entire life. I want to thank Jesse for your always enjoyable push to all of us to give more of ourselves in every way, and for encouraging me to take this journey to fill an already full plate with even more meaningful things. And as you know, or you may not know, the skilled matchmaker is setting me up with my amazing girlfriend, Allison. So if anyone is looking to pair up with somebody, please grab Jesse before the night is out. I want to thank my dinner committee. You've seen how many great people there are who have plenty of good other things to do with their time, and yet they stepped up and did an amazing job and helped this dinner exceed its goal. One story that is super meaningful is Mark Weinstein and I have traveled quite a bit. We just got back from Boston. He got back this morning, I got back last night. We were in Sacramento together. We go to a lot of places that we share the same room, and for every meeting for the last literally 2 months, I couldn't walk into a room without him saying, Sandy is being honored at the RPO dinner, you gotta go, it's incredible, fantastic, please come, and he helps fill this room. So thank you, Mark, for all you do and for really inspiring us. I want to thank the Federation team. We come up in front of a room. They do all the work in the background. Jesse was not totally telling the truth that you don't have to do anything, but a lot of what gets done is done by the Federation team, which is Julia, Jay, Rob, Lori, Marina, and the whole crew. They do a ton of heavy lifting. Thank you guys. And thanks to the real estate construction division chairs led by John Clyde and Brian Burkett for your leadership in making this such a strong, meaningful organization. I want to highlight an amazing group of people, a group called the Real Estate Professionals Organization, RPO, who are already major successes in their real estate field, and who already could rest on their laurels for all their philanthropic contributions. Yet they formed this group not just to give more money, but also the skills to help those in the Jewish community in need. They all stepped up, contributed to the dinner, served on the dinner committee, and continue to do amazing work on behalf of Jews everywhere. If you are with RPO, please stand up. And thanks to all of you for coming here, supporting the Federation, being such amazing friends, and supporting me and my causes. I feel very blessed to have such amazing friends and loved ones from so many places. So let me share some thoughts about the journey that brings me here tonight. It's not lost on me that almost 3 years ago, I stood at this very podium accepting an award as EY's Entrepreneur of the Year. As I walked up to the stage, I realized I didn't have anything planned to say, as I never thought I would win the award. When I got to the stage, I looked across the room and saw my parents, Arnie and Gloria Schwartz. And the first thing that came to my mind was incredible gratitude for what they both did for me to get me from where I started to here. Just 6 months later, my dad passed away. And I am so grateful that I had that opportunity to share with him at that moment how I felt. And I will try to do the same with you here. The Jewish Federation both saved and shaped my life. When I was 6, my mom became a single mother. She had to work. My brother Mark and I spent a lot of time alone in our neighborhood in Van Nuys. On the left. Okay. I was a creative type, selling day-old donuts to friends at school, liberating candy from Dale's Jr., the local mini market, to sell to friends so I could afford to play pinball. The usual petty theft from a 6 and 7-year-old. So God bless my mom. Who does she call? She calls the Jewish Federation. She tells them her young son needs help. She can't afford to stay home. She can't afford to send me to camp. What does she do? The Jewish Federation tells her that there's a special place owned by Jewish Big Brothers called Camp Maxstraus that takes kids for little or no money and gives them a camp experience for 2 weeks. So at 7 years old, never having been away, I go to camp located in Lebanon. Could have been another world. I arrive, I'm homesick, I'm shy, I'm in a cabin with kids from all over LA County. And I meet other kids who are nervous and scared and homesick like me. And the counselors, who were probably all of 20 years old, become my first mentors. They taught me to ride, to swim, to ride horses, to hike, and to lead. To work with people of all different backgrounds, from all different places. To see them for their potential and to share experiences together. The power of mentorship. When I left to go to camp, I remember how hard I was crying. And I remember when I came back, how sad I was to have to leave. I went to camp at 7 and 8, and those 2 years changed my life. All because the Jewish Federation supported Jewish Big Brothers and made the place accessible for kids who had no other options. 20 years later, John Shea, another incredible mentor of mine, called me up. He was organizing a dinner for a group called Camp Maxstraus Foundation and asked if I could help. I said, of course I would. And with John's help, I've been involved with the camp, chairing the dinner and supporting the camp since then. After being reconnected to camp, my kids have all worked and stayed at camp. We have referred other kids to camp, and I'm proud to serve on the board of Jewish Big Brothers, Big Sisters, with an amazing group of people who are here supporting me tonight. Guys with the Jewish Big Brothers, please stand up and with the sign here. Today the Camp Bob-Waldorf, has served over 53,000 children of all religions, most of whom could not afford to come to camp without the support of Jewish Big Brothers. We take care of the greater Los Angeles community, with about 90% of the kids going there not being Jewish, because that is what we as Jews do. So how does my experience with camp still impact me? First of all, I still love horses. That's me. I'm not sure whether I'm riding the horse or the horse is riding me. I never loved mountain climbing, but I did climb Kilimanjaro. With a little help from some friends. But most importantly, it made me appreciate what a little support means when you're going through life and need some direction, and sharing experiences with those who came from different backgrounds. I honestly believe in the goodness and the potential for greatness in all people, no matter where they come from. And as I grew up, I understood the value of mentoring and giving back, a small repayment towards the debt I owe camp. I was blessed to have many other role models to follow after camp. My first real mentor, my Nana Sadie, taught me if you don't knock on the door, God can't answer. And she convinced me the first step to all good things was mine to take. This philosophy still guides me. Some years later, I applied the wisdom that my grandmother gave me by knocking on the door of the Dodge Colt she owned and took it for a ride when I was 13 with my brother Mark and a few other friends who are actually still in this room. So Camp Maxstraus didn't quite get me all the way there. John Shane's father sat me down at Hillcrest at 20, not even one full year in real estate. Instead of the job I thought he was going to offer me, he said, a young man like you should be giving back. Why don't you give $5,000 to Vista Del Mar? And if you don't have it, I'll loan some of it to you. My first salary in real estate was $10,000. I didn't think the $500 check I sent him impressed him, but it set the tone. Once I caught the giving bug, it was hard to shake, and John kept up the tradition of incredible generosity. And people like Brian Shirkin, who called me to share his idea of a mentoring program called CLI, to bring in amazing young people and giving them guidance around career, family, and how they can engage with the community. I was so thrilled to step up and have had the joy of being a mentor to amazing people who are already making an incredible difference in this community. 3 of them you just saw sing, which I did not mentor them in. And one, Mr. Brian Burkett, has become an inspiration to all of us with his good deeds as co-chair of RAC. As they say, the student has become the teacher. Which brings me to another Federation miracle, RPO. As you have seen, this room is filled with leaders in the real estate field, are so generous with their material resources and their time. My connection to RPO began when I got a call from Ken Cahan, John Markarsh, Rodney Freeman, Mark Weinstein, and a few others who asked if I wanted to get involved with a group affiliated with the Federation to assist with projects that don't get big attention and need capital and real estate expertise. I didn't really know many of these guys, but I thought if it helps the Federation, why not? And the group turned out to be true difference makers. They don't just talk, which is a very Jewish thing to do. We do our share of talking, but they did, and they continue to do. Since then, RPO has given away almost $4 million in grants to 46 organizations for 66 individual projects. While that is impressive, the countless hours spent by RPO members on working with these organizations, evaluating grant requests, helping them find and work with architects, contractors, and other trades to get things done quickly and in a way that allows them to serve more people in a better environment. I will share a couple examples of who and what RPO is. As you've heard, on November 8th, 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, the Woolsey fire started, and by the end of the following week, had destroyed 3 Jewish camps, Camp S. Kramer, Camp Hilltop, and JCA Shalom. It also destroyed much of the Alon Ramon School in Agoura Hills. Many of us were evacuated from our homes, and several of us had losses on our property. On Monday, November 12th, just 4 days later, Ken Cahan called from Mexico City. His house in Malibu had been burnt down, but you know what his ask was? Let's get RPO involved now in helping assist with camps and schools which have been damaged. Can you imagine the loss Ken and his family were facing? And this is what he was thinking about, because to him, this is what we as Jews do. So Ken, Jesse, Rodney, Mark, and myself got on a conference call and committed ourselves to getting the camps and schools rebuilt as soon as we could. Jay, Becky, and the Federation jumped in. The fires weren't even out, and each of us from RPO would reach out to the schools and the camps. We worked on finding temporary locations for the camps for the next 2 years, where to house and employ the staff who rely on these locations for their income, how to communicate, getting insurance involved, and so much more. Speaking from my experience with Alon Ramon schools, they had a wonderful board led by Heidi Hirschman and their school director, Yuri Horinsky, who are here. Guys, please stand up. Two more wonderful people you won't find. Their main focus was, how do we get their 153 kids back in school? What do we do? So we met a few days after the fires, and this is what we saw. With 3 times a week conference calls, support from the Federation, and 2 amazing individuals from our company, Elaine and Luca, who are here today, we together worked to understand the insurance requirements, figured out how to clean the site, understood the power needs, communicated with teachers, got a GoFundMe page up and running, got signage on the site, worked with the landlord, and worked through Thanksgiving and the holidays to get kids back on campus. We got power on and kids back to school on February 4th, less than 12 weeks after the campus was almost totally destroyed. This is the power of our community, local leadership, and engaged base of volunteers, and the Federation support. This is what makes all the energy we put into giving back so fulfilling. Which brings me last Monday. As you've heard, about 20 of us, REC and RPO, went to Sacramento. I was so moved that guys who I mentored, who are still making their careers, made the pilgrimage up to Sacramento. That's true pilgrimage, just like on the Mayflower. So So we ended up seeing the governor, 20 assembly members, and state senators, and as Brian shared, we made great progress. What a great example of leaders from our community of all ages sacrificing our workday to make a difference not just in our community, but for the benefits of the greater community. It is exhausting work. We are still pushing for our ask for camps. $35 million to cover the difference between what insurance and donations will cover and the cost of rebuilding the camps. Why is this so important? These 3 camps not only serve Jewish campers throughout the summer, they serve over 25,000 kids of all denominations and backgrounds every year from public schools, social groups, retreats that make all our neighborhoods better and create better future leaders in our community, because that is what we as Jews do. A lot of people don't know that real estate was my second career. After Camp Max Strauss changed my life and their mentorship inspired me, I became a computer programmer at the ripe old age of 12. From 12 to 17, I programmed accounting departments, did consulting, and sold a fair amount of programs for my company, 2S Enterprises. My mom was my bookkeeper, and my brother did order fulfillment. I made a lot of money, and I bought this fancy new car. That's not Scott Baio, that's me. Haven't changed the hair at all. But the money came too early, and when I met my high school sweetheart, of, at all places, a temple retreat at Camp Hess Kramer, I got distracted. I learned that girls were funner than computers, at least back then. And when I turned 17, I retired. But by 18, the girlfriend was gone, the money was gone, and I got turned down by the one college I was supposed to attend, UCLA. I had become a has-been before I was 20. It was then I decided that I wanted to do something to make a difference and to be significant. I knew making money wasn't enough. Today our company, Newmark Merrill Companies, has 80 shopping centers, and in each community our goals are the same. To make that community better because we are there, and to give our tenants the best shot at the American dream. We have the most amazing, caring people at our company and those we work with. We understand that success just gives us an opportunity to do even more for the world. Whether it's going to the Union Rescue Mission, helping the homeless, or making sure every child in every neighborhood gets Christmas gifts. Our mission is to connect with people and show we care and invest in making that difference. So thank you to Newmark Merrill teammates for all you do to make our communities better. Guys, can you please stand up? As I grew up, I knew that giving back was important. My blessings are too numerous to count, starting with an incredible family, my mom, dad, brothers, and a sister. My kids, a wonderful friend and co-parent in Cindy who raised our 4 kids and helped make them the wonderful people they are. My beautiful girlfriend Allison, who challenges me, mainly in good ways, to be better every day and be the best version of myself. I get to hang out with my childhood friends, incredible mentors, partners, and the most amazing people in YPO, RPO, and REC. I'm often asked, how do I have the time to do all the things I do? My question is, how do you not make the time to make a difference and live life to 110%? A legacy isn't built on money or titles or buildings. It's based on leaving the world a better place than when we entered it. It's an experience with ones you love. It is touching people who have great potential but need a helping hand. Jews have always built on the traditions of their forefathers and pushed to make things even better if they could not see the benefits of their sacrifices. As a rabbi said, our tradition tells us even after Moses freed the Jews from the Egyptians and led them across the desert for 40 years, he never made it into the promised land. I believe in the Greek proverb, great societies are made when old men plant trees whose shade they will never sit in. What makes this word so meaningful is I'm following the footsteps of so many before me, so many great people who gave to the Federation, who supported programs that did not benefit them, but changed my life in so many ways. It is a debt I intend to continue repaying. Thank you and God bless you.